Rover, won't you dine with me? Ms. Margarita asked me to sup.
Did you hear what the Order's acolytes found while clearing the abandoned library? The public has already caught wind of its contents. Did you know it was signed as Golden Anthem? They say it was their last work, written aboard the Pilgrim's Sail. I reckon the original finder.
Shh! Quiet! They're criminals.
Shh. Simply put, their 3 members were once the Sentinel's cantors. But allegedly, their Pilgrim's Sail caught fire and none on board survived.
Well, since the manuscript is no longer...
Give me a second. Let me think. Hear that? It's exactly what they're playing now.
Well, it would appear they were possessed by daemons. Friends, it's been too long. I gather you were also listening in on...
What did you mean by...
Resentful of the Order's verdict, they committed to paper a curse. Those favored by the divinity were the most willing to raise the blade of rebellion. For though they died in exile to a great fire, their resentment fed like the fire that dragged them to hell. These daemons will spread... This article was recently published in the Raguna Literary Journal. Quite the perspective, wouldn't you say? Vengeance born of resentment. Perhaps someone unwittingly played that tune just now and opened... Then again, it's all conjecture. Those in the... Now, if those vengeful spirits really do exist... Well, by the way, it just so happens that I made a copy of the Poet Society. Here, take it. Consider it a little souvenir from your... Goodbye, friends. A change of venue is in order. I must finish my play.
Like the fire that dragged them to hell, these daemons were unverifiable, yes, but not entirely dismissible. So, let's start at the very beginning. She who resembles Topaz should... In her world, poetry and music hold equal sway. Shh. Listen carefully.
On the tapestry of times, strum my strings for the endless dance of time. To fly is not to flee, but to journey towards the dreams. All the hopes will set us free from doubts and fears deep within. Let the sunrise gild our wings, let the twilight soothe our skin. In the sky we're forever wild and free.
Rover! Carlotta! It's been too long.
You really must adore that song. I remember hearing... When I was a child, whenever I passed by Chacona's house, I'd always hear music drifting.
I remember it well. Those two guards of yours were like giants from Septimont.
Back then, Chacona's family conducted the Order's choir.
How should I put? A song is a song, whether sung in a grand hall or beneath the open sky. As for family matter, anyway, the two of you came in such a... Oh, so you eavesdropped on a man rambling on in C3 sharp, and then, poof, out pops a... Let me see. It should sound something like this. About that, sharp rover. I know, right? We should suggest to Miss Margarita that she add new signage. Sing with some...
Camp...
Of course. But I still need to know what kind of music... The Golden Anthem. They're criminals. To conspire with them is to risk banishment at sea. Or worse.
Don't worry. There's...
Fine. From what you've told me, the composers of this poem, when the poem is played, some type of horror appears. If you ask me, this story is a right load of codswallop. I don't believe a
Then you...
We need to get to the heart of this poem and music mystery. Let me join you. I can't I'll help you find the link between the music and those daemons. But in return, I want you to hand these papers. Then we have a deal. Since you believe this music summons them...
It's risky, but there's no surer way to find out. Wouldn't you...
The final work of poets banished. What, I wonder, did the verses...
They are just like the ones that attacked us in the restaurant.
Solo time! absolute. Moment of resonance. No contest. Ha! The fruit of ever. Listen! The trio of destiny. Ha! Strike from hopefully this helps. Come on, all of you at once.
I don't do overtime. Reduce to dust.
They burn in despair, resentful of the Order's verdict, till their last breath. Their last work is nothing but... With our bodies to fuel the fire, the ensuing furnace shall forge Raguna's true gold.
They wanted their resentment to echo through the streets. Just by reading this,
These voices.
If the poet's resentful souls gave birth to daemons, those voices were just people who read or...
Perhaps the voices themselves are what caused. In the legends, demons are born, but what we've seen isn't like that, no. They're more like horrors Of course, I'm just speculating. The voices were somewhat muddled. Perhaps I can refine. Let's find out what the true story really is. This is a realm created from melodies. Music can transcend space and time to bring memories and stories to life. No. Normally, you can't perceive the frequencies in a melody. But that manuscript...
They burn in despair, resentful of the Order's verdict, till their last breath. Their last work is nothing but a curse upon us all.
It's the same as what we heard before, but now I see something.
Perhaps it was a simple poem at first, nothing more. But then that article claimed it was a curse upon Raguna. Given that members of the Golden Anthem were banished, no one knew exactly what happened. So they filled in the gaps with their imaginations. With motive and a complete story. Perhaps that's all it took for a lie to become the truth. Each time someone plays their last work, yes, someone must have used them to create the daemons. What if the mastermind pulling the strings from the shadows is the author of that article? Daemons are bound to their creator, so it might not be a coincidence you felt them target you at the restaurant. There could... Imagination knows no bounds. If left unchecked, such incidents will only increase. For resonators, dealing with them isn't much of a challenge. But for ordinary folk, it's enough to spark panic across the city. Finding the one... If the daemons are born from the public's imagination, then things will shift once we catch whoever is responsible for starting this in the first place. This mastermind has gone to great lengths to twist the facts, stirring fear and turning it into resentment. Maybe an attempt to cover up certain stories about the Poet Society. He must be tied to them somehow. If we can learn more about the Golden Anthem, music and poetry are born from kindness and hope. Whoever is behind this won't... The thought of confronting them is already inspiring me to...
Our enemy hides in the dark. We need to split up. With your tenacity and someone has pointed a gun at Cat's Eye. The family has its ways. Tracing the article's source and finding this mastermind won't...
If we find melodies connected to the Poet Society, I can bring the past into clearer focus. Got it, Rover! I know a place. Let's go. Oh. I really admire the wind. It's free to go anywhere without restraint. If only it could carry my poems into the hands of everyone across the world. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da da do 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 do. La da na 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 dum ba da da da. Ta-da! Welcome to Requiem Paradise. This is where Raguna's musicians lay. For the people of Raguna, the sea is everything. Since an instrument is an extension of the musician, it's only fitting that it's buried by the sea. I'm certain this is where the poets of the Golden Anthem laid their... What's wrong? You seem troubled. Is that what's been on your mind this whole time? To be honest, I haven't found any leads either. Once, I spent 3 days just trying to find the... So, I stood under that tree, you know, just like in those stories where inspiration strikes after an apple hits you. And... the apples never fell. I stood under that tree until I couldn't any longer. Try it.
It's a real...
Later, when I finally decided to leave, I looked up through the gaps in the branches, and it turns out, even without an apple, inspiration may yet strike. So, maybe this is enough.
I'm starting to understand why Carlotta calls you Topaz.
Is that so? But I'm nowhere near as soaring freely in the sky. I sense the melody of an instrument close by.
Efficiency above all.
Is that a loop? Its echoes are faint. Perhaps, but wait. The sound may be weak, but there's an undeniable strength to it. Rover, behind you! It seems this lute likely belongs to a member of the Poets Society. Which is to say, it holds the melodies they left behind. Ta-da!
No problem.
A grand thanks for watching!
I can spare a minute to knock some heads around. Don't stand in my way!
The timbre also matches. I believe this lute sometimes even when the instruments are the same. For example, this lute doesn't seek to boast. It speaks softly, like a traveler. The true purpose of music is to express. Rover, if there's something you want to say but can't put into words.
But I haven't even heard you.
Me? Perhaps another time. Now, it's in the lute's hands. Listen. It seems like an interrogation. Take care with each step. The melodies left by these instruments. We may find ourselves straddling vast rifts in time and space. A single misstep could draw us into other melodies, leaving us lost within them.
Farrell of the Golden Anthem. Know that the Codex teaches us that those who it is a grave offense to slander the Sentinel. I was told you found this lie carved on a lithograph. In the face of the tempest, a giant celestial steed carved a path for the Ark. If you admit you were mistaken at tomorrow's trial and reveal where you have hidden the... Remember, Imperator...
I'm sorry, Sir Acolyte. I'm doing my best to cooperate. I'm afraid that by the time I see the Sentinel, I will have lost my...
As long as you repent and help us destroy those... You are a wise man. I will always be here.
No need to worry, Sir Acolyte.
Neither official nor private records show them as having ever repented in the Cathedral of Mercury. This melody is fading fast. Let's check if there's anything nearby to amplify it.
I understand we're not adventurers or mighty resonators. We don't even have the time or it. Farrell only wanted to share the voice of uncertain. Our fate has been sealed. All we can do now is...
They don't sound like they're full of hatred at all. If during the interrogation they kept their composure and did not offer fear...
Everything seems to revolve around the Order.
We don't know that for certain. But at least we now know the poets...
Farrell's gone mad. Why would he slip this dangerous knot? We ought to have...
Buried the truth. It just occurred to me. Is that our mastermind's true aim? To that end, he stirs panic to deepen Ragonese prejudice against the Poet Society. Words and music are...
I knew this was from the moment we uncovered that lithograph. Still, I have no regrets. But all this time...
The Order's stance is that the Poet Society concealed blasphemous works. Yet the Order themselves can... That's right! You must have seen this to keep the Sentinel's true form a secret. The Order ruined the gold... The melody is fading faster now and becoming unstable. We should leave...
Where is this place? A study? Chacona, are we... We must have gotten separated.
You are to build a home here, like seabirds. Dwell upon the water, just as... I don't... They were clearly the Sentinel's cantors. Why would anyone call them criminals who insulted divinity? This is a poem I've never seen before. Do not place flowers on my tomb. I am the sea wind at Raguna's walls. I am a nighthawk of wings aflame, soaring towards the celestial steed, whose praises I sing and whose true form I behold. flame, celestial steed, true form I behold. The night sky will be...
Because they cannot banish the truth, the Order of the Deep instead banished us to the sea. Our thirst for no matter what, remember this. The truth will always exist.
I can't get through. What is this?
She's always been distant and aloof. Chakona, as long as you still draw breath, lift Chakona Toccata. Lift your eyes and look.
Rover? Rover, finally I got you out of there. You must have been drawn into a different melody on our way out.
I just walked into a study and ran into a... She mentioned a name. Chacona Takata.
I see. I don't know who you met. As I said before, for family matters, let the pub just call me Chacona. Well, we have made some progress. Yes. Seeing as they banished the Golden Anthem, we might...
Have you found her yet? No.
She's not here either. Greetings, sisters. Might I ask, have you seen someone dressed like her?
No. Razor doesn't like walking with her head down. She must have gotten into some... We're in the Order's choir. We're rehearsing hymns. Racer is our lead chorister. We took a break from rehearsing to play... Maybe she got mad at us because we sang bad.
Can you tell your big sister?
The teacher says it's a hymn to honor the brave knights, but Razor says the hymn...
Well...
Really? She went that way.
Such a beautiful voice, isn't it?
You're the laureate.
My name is Chacona.
A friend of mine.
Don't be scared. We're only here...
Hide and seek, right.
How about a little chat first?
What? Of course not.
Young ones today have so much talent. You know, our laureate here definitely...
It's just... Before the performance, the choir has to listen to the same music, recite the same lyrics. What's more, the hymn we're practicing. Myron and the others never complain, but now their dreams are all dashed because of me. Myron and I don't like this hymn. Myron and the others, I just don't understand. The more I thought about it, the more out of rhythm I became. In the end, that song just now.
Well, what do you think
a hymn, as the books state, is...
No, not that. I mean, how does it make you feel? Try...
Well, I didn't want to hold everyone back.
Then hold on to that feeling. Let's rehearse again.
Uh-huh.
Well then, the laureate and I will be the first to hear you perform.
This is a cathedral. That's the choir on stage, with the Poets Society leading them.
On the surface, yes. The Order certainly upheld Raguna's prosperity and stability. The poets, praised for their songs to honor the Sentinel, earned the Order's favor. Despite simply knowing the Order once stood with the poets doesn't reveal the true reason behind their banishment.
It sounds like a song celebrating the knights who defeated the Tacit Discords at—
Degenerates! Arrogant! Hypocrites, every last one of you! You have no idea what happened! Not at all! Has the Order reduced our sacrifices to mere tales to be told over tea? The Sentinel's blessing!
This is madness! Who is this madman? Someone remove him from here immediately! Do not be deceived.
What he said about the common folk, is it true?
What a mess. Strange. Why is this passageway so long?
Afternoon tea! Yes, please. Your tea and biscuits, miss. I'll reapply the medicine once you've finished. Next time, no more there, I understand. You've always been a curious child. You saw something terribly interesting and snuck out to take a closer look. Look at this. This book says the flower doesn't live long. But that's silly. I know it can miss. This study is a secret. You must never tell a soul. I understand. But I've always wondered, why do people say they're guilty? There are so many interesting poems and songs here.
Oh, what splendid
Racer did wonderfully. Thanks to you, I figured it out. Sincerity is what truly matters when we pray and sing praise.
Yes. A hymn isn't just a few lines of history. It may differ in each person's eyes, but I hope you'll give the audience a spectacular performance. So, what did you see?
The Poets Society was criticized for glorifying the knights over the common folk during what their assumptions were challenged, so they traveled to the knights' encampment at Whisper.
This incident may have been the turning point for the Poets Society. Next time we venture into the realm of melodies, perhaps we should, if the Order's choir is pointing us to Whisperwind Haven. I've heard of these nights during my travels. This should be where their old encampment stood. But there don't seem to be any instruments, poems, or music here that carry the memory of a melody. Let's try searching the area first. These bonfire poets were no doubt members of the Poet Society. To find the melody, we should try perhaps inspiration. This was the last stop on their route. What is it? Has anything come to mind? Oh, yes. It rises from the primal, churning endlessly, echoing in our ears without end. I believe playing a tune, of course. I want to capture the mood they must have felt when they were...
Rimbo and Selena must have returned to Raguna by now. That lithograph of the Sentinel's truth. Did that gentleman guide us in 10 backpacks stuffed with papers claiming to be a common artist? Yet he spoke like a nobleman. If not for his help, we'd still be... He's right. We must enlighten the people of Raguna. The Knights of the Order defend only the Order's interests, and so...
It seems someone told the poets the truth about the Sentinel, and even suggested they stop singing solely for divinity and begin singing for the common folk as well. On the surface, what our mystery man said makes perfect sense. He even has knowledge of Imperator's true form. And this hidden lithograph is evidence the poets were telling the truth. Is this form of the Sentinel the same as the one... So the poets were indeed banned. Even under interrogation, they held their silence. It wasn't in resentment and curses are not songs of their own style. As for the true mastermind, we must confront his lies and put an end. But once the truth of the Golden Anthem at Imperator is revealed, it will no longer be just a matter of daemons, but...
The will of the people is strong. This mastermind is so sure that the lies about the Sentinel will go undiscovered, and the truth exists to be uncovered.
Yes. We'll go back to Margarita's. It's where us... Miss Margarita!
Well, hello. Oh, Miss Jacona's a regular around here, you know.
Actually, I've come to ask a favor of you today, Miss, about the Poets Society's legacy. There's some...
Not a problem at all. Did you make any big discoveries?
Rover, we'll begin when you're ready. The poets did board the Pilgrim's sail, becoming the stars of their own final act. We all know how that tale ended. A great fire consumed the ship, dragging it to icy depths, and the poets of the Golden Anthem with it. But hear this. Banishment did not breed hatred in their hearts for our city, and the flames did not scorch. If you wish to hear their true voices once more, seek them at the Cathedral of Mercury. The children there still sing hymns written by... As the fire filled the ship's cabins, they penned their last poems with death drawing near. Perhaps if the poets truly meant to curse Raguna, why would they write such obscure poems? Why not simply this charade? It was carefully crafted, twisting their work to conceal tomorrow. At the Odyssey Opera House, I will reveal the truth. Until then, I thank you all for your patience.
This can't... This is very confusing.
Previously.
Sorry.
Loria, is this all real? What do you mean by... The poets of the Golden Anthem.
A fascinating story indeed. Yes. The speech you made just now. You're implying that...
Exactly. Someone used the story of the Golden Anthem.
If memory serves, official records of the Order of the Deep state the poets were charged. Surely you're not suggesting this was all the Order's doing?
Are you from a noble family? The city's elite?
I'm afraid you misunderstand. Your presentation brings me back to a group of birds locked inside a cage. Then, one day, the cage door opened. Many consider their fate a tragic.
I see it differently. Even if they met their end falling into the abyss.
And what of those who chose to remain in the cage? Will they dare to reach for the skies after realizing the cost of choosing to fly? Does the truth... Miss...
A splendid retaliation. Like everyone present, I too eagerly anticipate tomorrow's arrival. As expected, the Order's fingerprints are all over it. It was none other than acolytes from the Order who salvaged the poet's lost works from the wreckage. It's possible this was a sham all along. Choosing to make it... Now, considering the fact that the untraceable article first began circulating among... I think it's fair to say its author is a regular of such secrets. His collusion with the Order is why these rumors are allowed to run rampant. I'll have someone follow this secret circle's trail, and we should also share these findings with Chacona. As...
That's strange. She was
just like when we were children, when she and her family disappeared. Ms. Margarita, have you seen Chacona?
Miss Chacona? She was squirreling off towards the harbour earlier. I thought she did look quite down, though. Never seen her.
Thank you for letting us know.
Why don't we split up and look for her at the harbour?
Efficiency above all.
The young birds left their cage flat.
I never thought his words would reach into the depths I sealed away.
Coming here implies you worry. You intend to reveal the truth of the Sentinel to the public.
And here I thought you'd be much... You know the dangers of pilgrimage, Itules.
The truth has its thorns, and the Golden Anthem has already paid its price.
Is that what you're trying to tell me with your play? But you know...
Allow me to share the answer, Sir Acolyte. Do you remember the very first voice from the heavens? The one the people of Rinascita kept alive in their heart. Surely you've seen the Golden Bough,
yes? A play where people from various clans wear masks, singing and celebrating together. An occasion you now call Carnival.
And?
It is words and songs. We are not your enemies. But it exists forever.
You pitiful fool.
The Order of the Deep seeks to banish us to the seas.
Hear that? The bell they tolled.
The parallels, so striking. Just like the day the Poets Society boarded their sail. You, Chacona Toccata. So this is the resonance they babbled on about. Why are there always the poets were at least clever enough to hold their tongues, but you have the nerve to parade?
Is that so, Sir Acolyte? I do.
Spare me your sarcasm, you insolent bard! You're nothing but a mouthy relic.
Ah, so you've already tasted their fate, haven't you? Such a dramatic turn of events. As cantors of the Sentinel, both the Toccata
You're nothing but a figment of my imagination. None of this concerns you. When I was a child, I lacked the ability to prove the Sentinel's true form. But now, with the inverted tower shifting and the prophesied, I believe the opportunity has...
Opportunity? Do you intend to repeat history? This time, dragging Rover along with you? Boarding the Pilgrim sail, and isn't this what you're afraid of? You've unraveled the hand behind it all. Rover, Miss Carlotta, and all those you've gathered, and perhaps even that blessed maiden. Even so, have you really made your choice?
Is this Chacona's sheet music? The vision I saw seems to have been recorded. Chacona mentioned she always writes down her melodies on manuscript paper. An interrogation room. The girl in the Poets Society's study. What happened last time was no accident. But why was she there? And why are the Toccata family and the Poets Society...
Thank you for understanding everything. Is there anyone else here besides you? You must have touched the Golden Anthem's muse. To be able to touch it means you're someone I am yesterday's child of ignorance, the actor now on stage, and the banished sinner of tomorrow. Chacona Toccata. Let me tell you, the story of the Golden Anthem. This is how it all started. A mysterious person showed the poets the truth about the Sentinel. Then they decided to become Knights of Raguena. Back then, besides the conductor, there were others. It didn't take long for the Order to notice us. To keep everyone safe, they gave my father a key to a study. Inside, there were papers that could have destroyed the Order, if anyone would even believe them. And as you've already seen, I was also banished. Usually, the food and water in those ships aren't enough to get the people where they need to go. Even if they made it, the cold would get them. As for the fire, the poets started it in the past. Everyone thought they were brilliant cantors. But inside, only they understood how fake and arrogant all their poems and music really were. In the world they dreamed of, poets would no longer be shackled, and everyone could sing freely. That was their wish for the future when the curtain fell. But the Order was afraid. They didn't want any loose ends. So they went to salvage the ship's wreck. The Golden Anthem gave my father the key. At first, he wouldn't let me near it because I was too little. It wasn't until my mother, my uncle, and the rest of my family, I still remember the day he handed me.
Don't see it as a burden, my child. Remember, only this kind of courage can rid your father of the cowardice he showed to...
Father wanted to tell everyone. So the Order put him on a pilgrim sail with the same charges. And that was the last time I saw him. I wrote songs, weaving the stories my father and the poets discovered. The Poet Society and our family could never prove whether the Sentinel's form is really that of a celestial steed. All we could do was hold on to our suspicions and the possible truth. Waiting for now, I have that choice again. Do I reveal the truth? But this time, I have you and my friends with me. I can't let you all repeat my fate.
Like I said, the truth exists to be uncovered. I've made my choice. There are hints of the sea inside Chacona's melodies.
Thank you. Thank you for understanding everything. Let's open the doors. I hope this time...
This song. It's the one she performed last time. The melody is the same, but why does it sound so sad this time?
So, Miss Poet, have you made your decision?
This is a poem I've never seen before. It's so different from what they used to write. Do not place flowers on my tomb, for I do not rest beneath the stone. I am the sea wind at Raguna's walls. I am a dawn that breaks through thorns. I am a nighthawk of wings of flame, soaring towards the celestial steed, whose praises I sing and whose true form I behold.
I know what you're thinking. You're worried I might end up on the same path you did. Go on.
All the hopes will set us free from doubts and fears deep within. Let the sunrise give our wings. Let the twilight soothe our skin.
Follow your heart. I'll be with you. Till the end.
A penniless bard and the laureate roving in a but as long as the seeds of doubt are planted. There! Now, how's that? Ah, speaking of which, have you ever read that novel? The knight is also accompanied by a squire. I am no Montelli, acolyte of the Order of the Deep, but still, I shall lead the charge. Yahoo! Mount up! the forgotten songs rise once more. This is the story. They were once poets, singing song, until one day they stumbled upon a truth that could not be proven. The Sentinel, whom we've always revered, the true divinity granting us blessings, is a majestic celestial. And the teachings in our scripture, ask yourselves this. Why would Imperator, how could poets who once sang the praises of the Sentinel, people of Rinascita, have you ever wondered why the Order forbids us from seeing their earliest scriptures? Why did none of the fools that bordered the... Imperator and Raguna have always stood united, yet...
Chikona Takata, in the name of Imperator and Primus Fenrico.
Is that so?
Blasphemy!
Oh! The same old tricks again!
Save your empty words for your confession to the Sentinel. Damnation! She's not working alone!
Farewells! Let's see how much of the orders have... I have faith. The music of the Golden Anthem will one day... A masked hero suddenly appeared, rescuing the bard right... But that's a story. Even with a mask on, people will still... I'm now a wanted criminal by the Order. Now this is what a real poet... Well then.
This room
is our final stage. Now, it's your turn to step onto it.
You will witness a different world.
You arrogant hypocrites!
Led by curiosity and wonder, they step forward.
I am the gentle sea breeze, sweeping through Whisperwind Haven and towards Raguna's high walls.
Well, have you decided on your answer? I look forward to the public trial.
Perhaps our fates are not so different after all.
It is time, sinner against the Sentinel.
But you...
I will continue to sing.
As long as there are those who breathe and see.
My eternal summer will never fade. Do you feel it? The breeze from Whisperwind Haven. Next thing you know, maybe an apple will fall on our heads. Or maybe a big grey wolf will leap out. Thank you, Rover. I don't have the Blessed Maiden's miracles, nor the powers of it. The only thing I can offer is to immortalize this moment. By the way, I met a man at Margarita's who claims to be a playwright. I'm not entirely sure who he really is, but my guess is... Here, you can have this music sheet. An escape mission! Starting today, I'm no longer just a wandering bard. I've got the order. Don't you worry, I still remember about the song I wrote you. We will meet again. After all, we're partners in crime.
My Lord Primus, it seems your plan has you sought to revive the blasphemous Poet Society, spreading their legacy to stoke the fires of prejudice, and through my aid summon daemons to sow fear across Raguena City.
I care not for labels of good or evil. My fear is but one.
Ah, truly the words of one in possession of great power. And yet, why do you seem so... Is it that foreign laureate that unsettles you so, or is it...
Out of respect for our partner.
Of course.
Wait. You were the one... I've heard whispers of your presence at Whisperwind Haven around that time. Why are you...
As you said yourself, there was no deception. Indeed I was. The birds, having uncovered the truth, must decide. Will they... Look, just as the young Toccata mentioned. How long is it? Armed with a wooden spear and a broken helmet, his squire, ever loyal, trailed close behind as if becoming one with the night. Together they char, truly astonishing. Even if you took such a...
Maybe because you went to Avenolium and uncovered some of the truth the Order is desperate to hide. It will take a lot more than that to even leave a scratch on you. Perhaps they're having someone else do their dirty work. That just makes finding the one pulling the strings a top priority. Banished and forever stripped of the right to sing for the Sentinel and the Order. That much is true. The Order's records say as much. But there's still something missing. If such an important melody is lost, we won't be able to find them. A fire, seemingly forged from the depths of hell, destroyed everything. That doesn't quite add up. If hellfire was all that remained from the Pilgrim's sail, then could they really have been trying to curse Raguena? If that were the case, well, shouldn't the curse have come true?
the hopes will set us free from doubts and fears deep within. Let the sunrise gild our wings, let the twilight soothe our skin. In the sky we're forever wild and free. To fly is not to flee, but to journey towards the dreams. All the hopes will set us free from doubts and fears deep within. Let the sunrise gild our wings, let the twilight soothe our skin. In the sky we're forever wild and free.